You're watching The Roach on Florida TV.
Well, you're a good guy to talk about this. We have a pretty good size homeless problem in Orlando. I don't know if you've ever been to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I have.
And I don't know if you've ever driven around Skid Row in that area. I'd love to get your viewpoint on this and tie it to where we live. You go to California these days. I mean, it looks like a third world country.
Yes, it does. And I saw Dr. Drew on TV, and he predicted typhus outbreak. And a lady on the 6th floor of City Hall in L.A. got a flea bite and got typhus from it.
Yeah, and Dr. Drew has had some really good viewpoints on this because he's been talking about this for a long time. And this is a serious, serious health threat to Los Angeles and to every place that is dealing with a large homeless population. But you drive the streets of L.A., you can't believe you if you've ever been to a third world country, you'd go, and if you've ever traveled abroad, you just go, geez, I'm so sorry about this life
that's how people describe it.
This is in one of the richest cities in the world. And you drive for miles and you just go, what the heck is going on here? For somebody that helps, like yourself, people that are down at times.
Oh, glad to.
What do you suggest, like a city of Los Angeles side or Orlando? What do we do to solve this problem tomorrow? How do we fix this?
Well, for one thing, a lot of people that are homeless and get jailed, it's because they shouldn't be jailed. They should be given psychiatric help.
Okay.
The other thing is drugs and alcohol. Those two things are the main problems now.
Because they'll say in L.A. they don't have affordable housing. That's what they'll say. And I'm sure they'll say that here in the Orlando area as well.
Some of the homeless people don't want housing.
Okay.
They want to be their own boss and not have anybody tell them what to do.
And I want to be clear about this. You're somebody that has talked to these people time and time again.
I love them, yeah.
Yeah.
Want to help them.
I just want to be clear about this.
Yeah.
That you're not
Thank
just...
you.
Yeah.
No, and I've asked, why would you sleep in a bush instead of going to the shelter? Well, if I want to get up and walk around at 3 or 4 in the morning, I can't. I said, but you've got a roof over your head. No, I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. I get a lot of that. The others are alcohol, drugs, and just mental illness.
Right.
Yeah.
And but here's the question: why can't a city like Los Angeles be able to pass a law that first they've got to solve where they're going to put these people? But let's solve that problem, and then you have to say, and this is only fair to the business owners and the people of the city to go, we've got to scoop these people up. If they don't want to go, we still got to make them go. And then, you have some sort of 2-3 strike rule. And if they run away from the treatment, they continue to do it, then you've got to arrest them and move them out of the city. But why are we afraid to say, look, you can't set your tent up, your barbecue grill, and your whole life out on a street? Why are we so afraid to say that? I don't get it.
Well, Randy, out at the airport, I talked to a lot of people from L.A., lots, San Francisco, and now this is what they're telling me, that their politicians are so concerned with being woke that the regular citizen that pays taxes and tries to work and have a home and everything, they get run over. So the politicians can say, well, look, we have this. I'm not, trying to do anything against these people. So that's what they're telling me.
Yeah, I mean, so they're afraid that the visual of going around and tearing down these tents and taking these people to treatment, taking them to a facility, the optics of it is so scary to them, they just don't want to deal with it.
To the politicians, not to the residents.
To the politicians.
The residents are suffering. And I heard some horror stories, especially from people in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I talked to a lot of people who are visiting here, out at the airport. And
right.
It's just, I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the homeless people because they're like being enabled to live like this instead of getting some help.
Right. Well, there's some bizarre stories coming out of LA where they're spending like $600,000 per apartment to set these people up, each individual, with an apartment which has, granite countertops, an ice maker. And, could we not build a facility where people, like the old days, the old Quonset huts, where they have an air conditioner, they have a room, they have a bathroom, and why can't we do that in a more affordable way, set it up, get it going quickly, and then here's the rules. We've got to keep the streets clean. We've got to be able to have these business owners go to work and not have tents set up around them and drugs and needles and every disease starting to develop in that area. Don't we owe it to the taxpayers to keep the city going and clean and free of homeless people? But in fairness to the homeless people, we do have to give them treatment and a shot at life. So why is that? I don't.
You know what LA used to do?
I don't get it. And the same thing with Orlando.
You know what LA used to do in the early 90s? I love this. They would bus people. For one thing, they did it because they didn't want people to think they had a whole lot of homeless people there. But they would bus people out to an area outside the city.
Drop them off in Yuma or something?
No. Actually, they had nice, like, teepee-like homes.
Okay.
I mean, they were concrete, and they had air conditioning and water and everything like that. And as long as they didn't use drugs or alcohol, they could live there for free as long as they wanted. There was a bus line so they could get back into the city and work,
Right, have a job and then you could commute back and forth. All that.
But that's not woke, is what the people of LA are telling me anymore. What their politicians are, well, we can't do that.
I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't be a great program. And as long as you're not using drugs, as long as you don't, you can't own a gun, so nobody gets hurt. It would have to be policed by either the citizens of that community, but like sort of a city within a city.
It was, and it was outside of L.A., and as long as you didn't use drugs or alcohol,
right,
you could stay there forever.
Right, and there would be treatment with doctors and professionals that you could see. Why is that so impossible to set up? I feel like I could get this organized in a month's time.
Well, you probably could if you didn't have to deal with the local politicians there.
I'll just solve it. I'm not running for anything. I see a city like Los Angeles, and even when I drive around my city, I go, what do we do? Why can't we help these people out?
It's sad, isn't it? It really is.
Well, and I'm sad for the guy that owns the pizza shop, and he can't open his front door because the door smacks into the tent of the guy who's decided to.
Everybody. I'm sad for everybody. Yeah, everybody's suffering. Even the homeless people are suffering because of it.
I don't get it. Mm-mm. Yeah, and it's been interesting, mentioning Dr. Drew, because he has been very outspoken about it, and he is predicting some very serious health concerns.
The plague.
Yeah.
He said he's waiting for the plague outbreak. He said it's coming. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, it's coming, he said, out in L.A.
Well, and it all drains into the ocean is where all this is going. All the drugs, the feces, it's just human waste.
When was the last time you heard somebody had typhus? World War II, right?
Yeah.
No more Roach on Florida TV.